What is up, Buttercup? Welcome to your weekly general reading. So, this reading is going to be time specific. It is not a timeless reading like I normally do. We're going to be doing a reading for the energy of the upcoming week. So, the 24th to the 30th of July. So, please take what resonates, leave the rest, and do not force it to fit. Really quick, let's go ahead and talk about the astrology we have going on for the week. So this is typically how my readings on Patreon used to go, but I'm changing things up. So we're going to be doing it on here. So we have the 24th. So let's backtrack a little bit. So 2 days ago, Venus went retrograde in Leo, right? And Leo season began. So Venus retrograde is a time in which we are going to be reviewing our relationships, not only our relationship with ourselves, but our relationship with others. 2 days prior to that, on the 18th, we had the North Node enter Aries and the South Node enter Libra. So we have this energy going on in the collective where our destiny is leading us towards finding a deeper fulfillment in regards to our own identity, ourself, right? The North Node in Aries. And our past is surfacing to be healed, to be seen, to be closed out in regards to karmic lessons, things of that nature with the South Node in Libra. So then when we enter Venus retrograde, it's kind of supporting that new chapter that we're entering into for the next year and a half as a collective with the new North Node and South Node, which with the North Node in Aries, the first sign in the zodiac, also indicates that we're entering into a whole new time on a soul level as a collective. So we're going to have new relationships, new jobs, new ways of dressing, doing our hair, showing up in the world and showing up for ourselves. So with Venus retrograding, your relationships are probably going to get a shakeup. And the reason being is because we're getting a shakeup. So internally, there's something that's begging you to pay attention to it. There's something that's wanting you to bring your awareness to your codependent habits, or maybe attachments, or a tendency of being avoidant or controlling. These wounds are going to surface because Chiron, the wounded healer, is currently retrograding as well. So we have all this very supportive energy in regards to healing how we show up for ourselves, our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with other people, as well as our relationship with our higher power. So considering today we also have the moon in Libra, I figured it'd be a great time to do a collective weekly reading. We're entering into a lot of new energies. So please just be kind to yourself and allow yourself to kind of explore with non-judgmental eyes what it is that is going on in your world. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the actual week that we're sitting in. The moon's in Libra today. Tomorrow we have the first quarter moon in Scorpio. So this is a really great time. Scorpio is about death and rebirth transformation. It's a really good time to make adjustments. So first quarter moons are, they tend to be an energy where you can really start to get your ducks in a row. So this is a really good time to maybe start that new project or to make the groundwork for your transformation, to make the plan of it. So this might be like, for instance, like getting your agenda out and like planning, okay, on these nights, I'm going to study for this course that I just started, or these nights I'm going to make myself a priority. I'm going to go to the gym, or this day I'm going to meal prep, right? Just be really mindful of that, but try not to get crazy serious and intense about it. Try not to get sucked in, really allow yourself to flow with it. On the 28th, we have Mercury entering Virgo. So Mercury and Virgo, Mercury loves Virgo. It's home in Gemini and Virgo energy. So this is a really great time to have very honest, upfront communication, not only with other people, but honestly with yourself too. This is a great time to break out a journal and start really exploring what it is you think and feel. And so with Mercury in a sign that it naturally rules, you can feel really more productive and more mentally focused at this time because your thought will be clear, especially with Virgo. Virgo versus Gemini. Virgo tends to be a lot more like systematic, whereas Gemini is very, in regards to its mercurial energy, can be systematic, but it's more action oriented. I find, in my opinion, you might experience it differently, but I find that when Mercury's in Virgo, things tend to be a little bit more grounded, Earth, right, Virgo. And in Gemini, they tend to be more lofty or instantaneous, Gemini. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the week. Those are your two highlighted days. The 28th with Mercury in Virgo, the 25th with the first quarter moon in Scorpio. And we just previously on the 22nd had Venus retrograde, and 18th the node switched. So let's get into it. Let's see what's going on. Feel free to put things in the chat and check out Patreon. I'm doing weekly love readings on Patreon for every zodiac sign. They're going to be posted later on today. But yeah, let's see what's going on for the collective. Yeah, I really want to use, I'm feeling so much Libra energy today, which I really like. I'm a fan. These have to come off now. Okay. So let's see what's going on for the collective today, please, Spirit. What does the collective most need to see? What does the collective most need to know? Show me what I most need to see. Okay, some people might want to turn back to what's familiar at this time. Just be mindful. Yeah, Pig Spirit, use your mind wisely. Be mindful. Time for a beginner's mind. Yeah, so this is 4748. There's going to be a tendency to really want to backtrack towards relationships or ways of being. I'm just going to call it like I see it. Like if you have a tendency of self-sabotaging, like let's say you're entertaining somebody who's really healthy and you're like, they're boring. Be honest with yourself about the fact. Is it that they're boring, or is it that they're challenging you to be comfortable in a space that you're uncomfortable in? With use your mind wisely and time for a beginner's mind, it's asking you to shift the way in which you are looking at your current situation, especially in regards to relationships. Really allow yourself to explore what's going on through a different lens versus the one you might habitually be looking at it through. Okay. Some of you, this is going to be a shift in career. If you've been second guessing changing your career, that shift's going to happen now. I'll give it to the end of next month, which would make sense because retrograde ends on the 3rd of September. Turn knowledge into wisdom. Okay, so here we have the distortion and illusion coming in. Yep, time to let go. So this is where we have that energy of attachment we're going to be working through as a collective this week, and that's a great thing. It's not a bad thing. When the energy of attachment comes up, it's basically the universe saying, hey, like I'm bringing it to your awareness because it's time to let it go. I'm trying to bring you some new goodies, right? Bring your ideas to life. So if you're trying to start something new for yourself and you're wondering why it's not happening, I highly suggest journaling, doing a release ritual of some sort. And this is not me in any way suggesting that you do this, but this is what I do, right? Liability. Sorry, I gotta say it. I will write things down, people, feelings, situations, limiting beliefs, even like items that I don't want anymore, that if it doesn't light me up, I get rid of it, right? And so I'll write down these beliefs, these situations, these people, and then I will burn it outside. But in the midst of burning it, I literally am like sending gratitude to the universe and thanking for those experiences, for the lessons I received from those experiences, but releasing the energy of attachment to them because it no longer serves me. So I'm emptying my vessel and creating this energetic transmutation. Okay. So it'd be great to do it on the first quarter moon in Scorpio we have in 2 days, I believe. So Dove Spirit, be peace. I'd highly recommend taking some time this week for yourself. I really would, especially with the node switching and all this Libra energy. With a lot of Libra energy, it has a tendency of leading towards codependency. So be mindful if you're people pleasing, like be very mindful of that, especially with the Libra moon. It makes us very loving, very emotional, but also on the shadow aspect, it can lead towards self-sacrificing, right? And people pleasing. So be mindful of what it is that you want and you need for yourself at this time, because there's something there that you want to create and there's some hesitance to go toward it. I don't want to use this. Okay, so we're not ready for that yet. We're going to be doing interesting. This is a very creation deck for me. I forget what it's called. Sorry. Tarot of Dreams. Whew, thank you. It's another Ciro Marchetti deck. I really like it. I highly recommend it. It has additional cards in it. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Okay, so we're getting your old self because they said they're not ready. This is the old self. It's not somebody else. This is your old self. Because it feels like something that wants to come in and I so intuitively want to be like, nope, not doing that again. So this could be an old relationship, but it feels more so like the attachment of this energy. Like, ooh, I want to go back. I want to go back. I need to see it in a new light, but I don't know how to do that yet. So I want to go back to it. Yeah, so let's see what this is. It feels very Seven of Swords. Hermit. I love it. Virgo. Two of Cups. Really ask yourself, what is in alignment with you? What is in alignment with the version of yourself you are today? Not the lens that you have of yourself that you are attached to. Really explore the version of yourself you are today and ask yourself, is this still, yeah, because impulsively that Knight of Wands energy is like, I just want to feel good, right? And it's wanting to go explore and hang out and see and meet all these people. It's a very nice energy, and you're not, there's no losing with spirit, right? You might enter into situations that really challenge you, but you never lose. Again, with the Hermit, it speaks to deep introspection. If you are trying to make like an impulsive decision about committing to a relationship or leaving one, I highly recommend sitting with yourself and exploring it. The Knight of Wands tells me it's a bit impulsive. Yeah, Nine of Cups. Yeah, it's just, and like I said, I just want to feel good. That's what it felt like. And that's what the Nine of Cups is. It's this emotional fulfillment. Are you seeking it through a relationship or other people when right now you have the amazing and very supportive opportunity to create it for yourself? Okay. So with the Four of Swords in reverse, it tells me that there is some hesitance to really sitting with oneself, right? So you might be like, no, I meditate, I do this, I do that. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. But do you sit with yourself? Do you sit and journal and explore how it is you think and feel about this relationship? Or are you in a place where you think that you know everything, right? Because sometimes we have to humble ourselves to ourselves. And that's what this feels like. It feels like there's something I'm not seeing. Let me sit a little longer, even though I know I see all this. Maybe I'm missing something. And that's okay. It doesn't make you good, bad, wrong, ignorant, any of it. It just means that there's just a little bit more diving to do. Yep, Ten of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. This is somebody new. I love this energy. I love the energy of the masculine that's coming into the collective. It showed up in the last week's weekly readings. It showed up in the Patreon love readings and some other personal readings I did. And I'm loving how stable and how loving and how supportive the masculine energy is becoming. And that would explain why the feminine being receptive is now being highlighted. This King of Cups, King of Pentacles, this feels like if it's not a new relationship, it's the masculine energy in the relationship learning how to be more reliable and stable and emotionally available. And that's what's creating this sense of security, this sense of, okay, I can build. So with the turn knowledge into wisdom, this could also mean that if this person is this energy and you don't see them in that light, that might be what you need to reframe, because someone can show up in their new self as much as they want, but it's up to us to voluntarily choose to see them with fresh eyes. So if we continuously see people with the same lens, we will never be able to see them differently. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Ten of Cups. This is great. The Star. This is going to happen in divine. Okay, I get it. This is here no matter what. This is here. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to squeeze onto it. It's here. Just stop. Just stop squeezing it, because it's time for you to just really work on what it is within you that feels like you have to chase it because it's going to make you happy, that you're scared if you take too much time for yourself, you're not going to have it. It's meant for you. It's here. It's meant for you. It might not be here in the physical yet, but energetically it's here. The universe is saying, please, like, sit back, take some time to really get into alignment with yourself, really learn to love yourself in a new way. I'm not going to say in general, because some of you probably really do love yourselves, and that's great. Snaps for you. But this speaks to creating space for a 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, which is a lot of energy, because it means that you've gone through the lesson of the Ace through the 10 in both suits, the material, physical world, as well as the emotional world, right? Let's look at Groundhog Spirit. There's something in between is what I heard. Yeah. Empress. Oh, beautiful. Tower. There's a I heard obligated, which is a very interesting energy to me, especially with the Empress being upright. Why obligated? Okay, I get it. She's okay, because what they say, she's to serve. I think that's the limiting belief, and that's what needs to be looked at. And that would explain, okay, that would explain why we have the Palace of Swords here, the Palace and the Tower. So we're breaking down limiting beliefs about the feminine being associated with an energy that is to serve or to nurture other people, which is codependency, right? Libra energy, Venus, Taurus, and Venus is retrograding in Leo. So it makes a lot of sense. There's so much Libra, so much Leo, so much Venusian energy. And it's really calling us to look at the parts of ourselves that might give to others a little too much, and not to ourselves enough. So it's finding that really healthy balance between the two. Bottom of the deck is Judgment in reverse, With the Tower, that's Aries, Mars, Scorpio, Judgment, Pluto, Scorpio, Stars, Aquarius. I already said the Hermit is Virgo. Judgment in reverse tells me that it's probably the wrong decision to give so much of your time and energy to this right now. It's time to really kind of play with how much time and energy should I give to it? How much time and energy do I need for myself? Hello, my dear. I feel like this Venus retrograde is not going to be as bad as some people think. I think a lot of times people look at Venus retrograde and they're like, oh my God, my relationship's going to end. When actually Venus is the planet of love and luxury, finance, beauty, aesthetics. So it's about making things appealing and pleasing to us, not only visually, but on a monetary and on a soul level. And so if there's a relationship that's ending, it's because part of your soul is realizing this is not pleasing me, or I'm not going to find my sense of pleasure in this dynamic, right? And the other part of it is to bring us back to finding that pleasure within ourselves, not in a sexual way, but it can be, but that's not really Venus. That's more Mars energy. And at the hello, wow, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. I'm so happy you're in a chat. I was like, who is this? And then I saw your name. I don't have my glasses on. But this is a really great time that if you are in partnership, please do not make impulsive action to end it during Venus retrograde. Really think about the challenges that are coming up, because honestly, they're probably coming up to help you see what it is you both value and if your values have changed. So that does not mean that because you value one thing, your partner has to, but it could be something that you guys discuss and figure out if it's a deal breaker or not, and if you're still in alignment with one another, especially with Mercury about to go retrograde in Virgo later on in the month as well. That's next month. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. There's also going to be this with Mercury and Virgo now, that there's going to be a lot of clarity about these conversations. So it's a really great time to not be combative, like really find that compassion and that love and that acceptance with one another. It's really going to help your relationship to move forward. But 10 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles tells me that you're probably working through this feeling of inadequacy or abandonment. And that's what's going to be releasing. And that's what's going to create space for this new energy in your relationships as well as in your projects. So if you have a fear of failure, right? And so that might show up as procrastination. It might show up as excessive exhaustion. If your fear of failure is kind of like ruling your mind and your energetic state so much, it's most likely something that you're going to be called to take time to reflect on right now, because failure, that fear, is something that is going to perpetuate into other areas of your life, right? Trickle. So Knight of Swords, there's going to be a lot of conversations about how to heal things here. Yeah, Judgment. I don't think relationships. Yeah, Queen of Wands, beautiful. I love this. Queen of Cups. There's the feminine coming in. Yeah, it's going to be the feminine, and not one person has to be the feminine. Please be mindful of that. We all have masculine and feminine in us. Like right now, even though I'm taking action on something, I feel as if, because taking action is your masculine, right? Even though energetically I feel very feminine at the moment, right? So that's how we dance through our duality. We can be taking action in our feminine, but when we're taking masculine action, it's a very progressive, very demanding, very, what's the word? The word is more intentional, right? With feminine's where we manifest. It's where we create from. It's our intuitive, compassionate side. So regardless of your gender, we all have this duality. And so I think both people have a really strong masculine energy. I think one person's feminine is struggling to receive more than the other. Doesn't make them worse or bad. It just means that they're going through the dance of being the leader and the teacher and the student together. And that's great. With the Judgment card here, though, now my ears are ringing. This feminine, this Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, they feel almost like it's like they want to love, but there's such a fear with love. Like, I need to be powerful. I need to be regal. I need to be authority. It feels very, I need to be strong feminine. Like the idea of being soft in the feminine is something that is very frightening to a lot of people in the collective in general, honestly. And with the 7 of Cups there, it's working through that illusion, through that distortion, right? To find that balance, justice, and our masculine and feminine again. So let's look at Dove, be peace. Yep, 7 of Swords in reverse. And the Hangman, yeah, it's taking the pause this time that's being given to us as a collective to really reflect on the parts of us that are sabotaging, right? The parts of us that are imbalanced, or fearful of stepping forward into the new. And so we might run to the past, right? Because that's what the ego does. The ego is the guard at the gate. The ego is there in our human experience to protect us. So when we start to move into new territory, the ego's like, whoa, bitch, where are you going? Get on back here. And it wants to bring you back into this moment because it adapted to this environment, whether it be toxic, whether it be healthy, it adapted and it knows how to thrive in this current environment. And when you go to a new one, you're challenging the ego to say, okay, we're outside the comfort zone. Let's go ahead and like hypervigilance. Let's make sure everything's good, right? And it's about learning that you don't need to be hypervigilant. You can explore and you can have fun and you could tell your ego, hey, me, higher self has got you. You don't need to freak out. So I really, really like this. I like this a lot with the Neptune Pisces hangman energy here. This is a very divine energy and Neptune's currently retrograding. So what are we also reviewing as Neptune's next to Saturn, both retrograde? This energy of maturing through not allowing our illusion or thoughts to control us, right? Becoming more the master of our own mind. And when we do that, we come more into a sense of homeostasis biologically and also energetically. And so even though energy is part of our biology, so it's a really nice read. I'm really excited for the collective. It's just, here's the thing with tarot though, tarot reads energy. So this is the potential of the collective. It's not just going to fall in your lap. And this kind of reading on the 3D level, there's a lot of work that has to be done with it. Like I said, those release rituals, that journaling, those conversations, it's really putting yourself out there to take steps in alignment with the energy to get the outcome of releasing the behavior that no longer serves. Because if you take my tarot course, you'll hear me talk about my perspective of the sevens in tarot. Sevens are known as the number of divinity, but to me as a reader, they're also known as the checkpoint because the 5 is the conflict. The 6 is moving beyond the conflict. And the 7 typically is defensiveness or wanting to turn back or confusion. It's the checkpoint. It's, wait, did I really learn the lesson? Is it really done? Can I really move forward? That's the purpose of the 7. So you're at the checkpoint now. And that's when after the 7, you get to the 8. And the 8 is the number of the CEO energy, the master builder, right? Because it's the number right before the mastery of self. So it's where we really start to dedicate ourselves to our purpose and to what it is we're creating to move forward. So I love that it's in the overall and that it's reversed because it tells me that internally you're at a checkpoint. You're going through an internal review of the things that no longer serve you and kind of sifting through and challenging yourself to move beyond them. Let's get some oracle cards. I think I actually want to pull from the Shaman's Dream. I think this is a great deck. If you read tarot yourself or you want a really good oracle deck, both of these they're currently my go-tos. I'm a firm believer that with every season and every energy that we shift into, because we're always changing and evolving, you'll be attracted to different decks. Like I have some decks that I haven't even used yet that I really liked for years, and I finally bought them. And then when I got it, I just don't use it. For instance, like the Akashic Records Tarot. Like I know a lot of people use this deck. I've been wanting it for years, and I've yet to really play with it because it's just not calling to me yet. Probably in about 6 months it will. Yes, definitely a checkpoint. I'm so happy this is resonating for you guys because I love readings like this. I love readings that will give you like, let's get beyond the surface and like really dig down to the issue, right? Because it's when we get to the bottom of it. Skybridge, possibility for union. I love it. And it's master number 11, 47, right? Breaks down to an 11. Beautiful. Possibility for union. This is a beautiful card too. So the union's not only, I think so often in the collective, we think of union as us with another. It could also be union of self, of your own duality, of your connection with your higher power, your connection with higher states of consciousness, spirit, universe, whatever, right? Very beautiful. Bottom of the deck, Moon Maiden, new beginnings, right? The feminine, which is a 5. So here's the shift, right? The shift into our alignment with something greater than ourselves. I love these. I'll read them to you. It's going to be a little redundant. I'm just going to tell you that, but it's okay. The Moon Maiden arrives to offer you a new beginning, a new face and facet of yourself that is aching to be shown to the world. Those qualities that you have been quietly cultivating are ready for the limelight. The secrecy was important, for it protected your new face and kept what was precious close to your heart. But now's the time to come forward in full splendor. Announce the new you to yourself first, which is what we were talking about with don't rush into this. This will be here. Allow yourself to explore who you are becoming and see yourself with fresh eyes. Don't stay attached to the lens of yourself you used to have. Reveal it slowly to the world, like the waxing moon. Allow others to be surprised by how mature and grown up this side of you is. Now it's time to set yourself free. The moon maiden belongs only to herself, and she is summoning the parts of you that challenge convention, that refuse to be intimidated, and that cannot be tamed or put inside a golden cage. The moon maiden invites you to shine with your own light, to have radiant curiosity, and to ask anyone who offers you a mouthful of dogma, why do you believe this is so? Question everything others assume is a given, and do not conclude with the drama around you. Become an unpredictable being and an eminently reliable friend. The moon maiden invites you to answer only for yourself and reminds you that you are not anyone's property. Be true to your soul's calling, even as some around you in a relationship or a job want to capture your light inside a bottle. You know how to rise to the occasion, just as unfailingly as the moon does. When the time comes, you return to darkness and become enshrouded in mystery until you are ready to return. So this is that Virgo hermit energy of going within, but also the recognition of, wait, am I giving too much of this very divine, sacred, feminine energy of myself, regardless of your gender, right? Again, I'm going to say it over and over because I think so often we're really attached to this being a woman when it's not. It's just our feminine nature of being loving and nurturing, compassionate, and extremely intuitive, and present, and just so very present and connected. And it's giving that to yourself instead of using those amazing qualities for the sake of others, right? It's not that that's bad, but there needs to be a balance because you're not here to serve. You're not someone's property or possession to be used. You're here for yourself as well. Okay, for your own evolution, which is beautiful. Skybridge, possibility for union. You stand before a seemingly unbreachable abyss and there's no possibility of retreat, right? The 7, don't go back, stay where you are. The path behind you is no longer a viable option. You have to act soon though, or you run the risk of being stuck at the edge of the cliff. Life has brought you to this moment to offer you a as yet undreamt of possibility, but you must no longer postpone what you know to be inevitable. And yes, you're allowed a breath or two before the leap, so take a bit of time to yourself. Get away for a day or two of contemplation, or even just a few minutes to clear your mind. Muster your courage that you may cross the sky bridge. Sky bridge appears when the moment is absolutely right for a quantum leap. Life believes you are ready, even if you do not agree. Remember not to confuse your true state of readiness with your plans and preparation. Respond with a determined yes and let the universe take care of the details. You need only hold on to your positive affirmation, and the way will become obvious as you take flight and clear the abyss. Sorry, that one was tough because I felt my consciousness coming back to my body, and I was like, whoa, what are words? Okay, so I'll get one from here. I don't read these. I like these just more for a channel, but this book was written just so well. I love reading from it. For union, you must recognize that you were divided, or at least thought you were. You're so welcome. Yes. Go forwards. Everybody go forward. That's awesome. I'm so glad you made appointments for yourself. I don't blame you. I'm going away the Friday the 28th, and I'll be back on the full moon actually. I'm not going to take this because I was talking. So yeah, it's definitely a great time for self-care. So let's see what we got for the collective. Oh, beautiful. Next level. Look at you. Okay. So loved ones in spirit, your ancestors are visiting. It's time to heal old limiting beliefs and patterns. Think big, you're moving to the next level. Very fitting, because that was kind of like the crux of the whole reading, is addressing these limiting beliefs and patterns that we have about ourselves, about our relationships, and about the version of ourselves we currently are. Because I think so often we get really stuck in viewing ourselves the way that maybe our family, friends, or even social environment or work environment define us, that we kind of attach that without questioning it and really exploring, who am I to myself? Am I loving? Am I kind? Am I in love with myself? Do I enjoy my work? Do I bring a positive energy to the room? Like, how do I affect the environment around me by how I show up there? And so as you start to explore those things for yourself, you're really going to get to a place of detachment of what others think, because you're going to realize that their perception is through their lens of themselves, right? Bottom of the deck, you have the healing guide. Focus on your health. Choose above all else. This was in reverse, which just tells me that it's definitely a time for self-care. Okay, my dear. But if you want weekly love readings, so the way I do my love readings, I do your desires, their desires, your current situation, your obstacle, advice from spirit, and the potential outcome of the relationship for where it currently stands. I will clarify all of these cards. There's one reading for every zodiac sign every week. If you're on Patreon, you'll have access to them. If not, go ahead, check out Patreon. The link's down below in my description box. It's $8 a month, but you get 48 readings every month for $8. So I don't think that's bad at all. And yeah, you get to look at your sign, your person's sign, your Venus placements for relationships, the rising sign, if it's a coworker, your mother or father sign, right? The house of the 5th or the 10th house, or is it the 6th? The 6th or the 10th house, I believe. What sign rules that in your chart or their chart, depending on your relationship. Yeah, all of that. So go ahead, check it out. I love to work with you if you want a personal booking. I also have my Reiki classes in September. So check out the Reiki classes. They're in person, and my mentorship program is open for new students. So if you want to become an energy healer yourself, go ahead, check out my mentorship program. It's available online or in person, regardless of where you're located, regardless of your time zone. And I look forward to working with you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.